Hello, welcome to the series where I play through a title and let you know if it's worth or not. What you need to know is Dragonflight is World of Warcraft's 9th expansion following Shadowlands. It was announced in April of this year and released later on November 28th. It is being developed and published by Blizzard Entertainment. Dragonflight's base price is $54.99 Canadian and does not include the subscription to play the game. That will be another $18.99 Canadian charged monthly. You can however pay a bit less if you purchase a higher monthly package. All around, expect to pay roughly $70 as entry. Now we'll briefly go over all the major quality of life changes and additions Dragonflight has to offer, starting with the new HUD edit mode, which finally allows you to enable, disable, move, and resize anything to your liking. However, you cannot edit your bags or menu bar. If that annoys you, then there are add-ons you can get to fix that. The option menu now has a search bar. You no longer have to scroll to look for that one specific thing. There's a new race called Draketheer, which also grants the playable Evoker class. You can choose between a damage or a healer. Speaking of classes, the talent tree has had a huge rework. You now have two trees to go down, a utility tree that spans all of your specs, and the other tree is role specific. You can also save and load builds others create. Professions have finally had a proper overhaul, making them extremely useful once again. They bring in a new feature called crafting orders, which allows you to request other players to craft something for you. Although similar to the auction house, you have to provide the mats required for them to craft it. This no longer allows profession-exclusive crafts, as you now have access to them all. They've also added a massive talent-like tree to professions called specialization, which allows you to choose your own path as a crafter. Last but not least, there is a new system called Dragon Riding, which allows you to befriend 4 new types of dragons, one from each zone. You can level them by flying through glyphs scattered across the zones. The dragons have a lot of customization options for you to unlock and change. Some drop from rares, dungeon bosses, quest lines, and many other activities. Moving on to the Dragon Isles, we currently have 4 new zones to explore, 8 new dungeons, and 1 raid, with more usually in later updates. Now what I want you to know is that the game in its current state is very addicting. I've not had this much fun with WoW since Legion. That being said, Dragon Riding is only available for the 4 drakes you obtain. Most of the dungeons don't allow flying or even base riding, so you must have another flight mount bound at all times for when you play older content. The old flying sucks compared to the new, and now we're going to be spoiled with greatness once they take it away. The one major problem with dragon riding is the moment you fly into a wall at any weird angle, you're instantly booted from the game. At one point I was stuck infinitely until my friend pulled my character out of his demise.
He's behind a wall.
I got him.
If I can use dash through walls.
I
put him in a wall. I made it worse.
If I was not in a group, I would have been fine. This bug is still present, just not as frequent. Be careful. We finally have reagent bags. Whoever pushed this idea to be in the expansion deserves a raise. It is absolutely wonderful, despite it always being full. Questing this expansion feels amazing, as there are a metric ton of quests to keep you busy. So many in fact that they had to increase the log capacity by 10, allowing us to have 35 quests at one time. Great improvement, but if I had it my way, I would just remove the cap and only show active quests, depending on the expansion or zone you're currently standing in. A lot of quests still have your WoW feel to them. Go here, kill 12 enemies, collect 10 thingies, rip the boss's head off, put it in your pocket, and give it to the random further out. Quests to me should be fun. Long enough to not feel like a chore, but short enough to keep your attention and move on to the next. Dragonflight does this exceptionally well, aside from a few bad apples. If you plan on leveling with questing, you'll reach max level by the start of the 3rd zone, assuming you're grabbing every quest you walk by. Dragonflight's purpose is endgame, so leveling alt could not be smoother. Once you're 60, you can pretty much fly and set your inn at the main city and just queue dungeons till max level if you prefer that approach. This is quicker than questing on your alts by a landslide. That being said, once you go through Dragonflight with one character, you can choose any zone to quest in on your alt instead of going through this main story all over again. Overall, Dragonflight is worth. There's not a stale moment, since there's always something to do. If you're not flying, gathering, crafting, or dungeoneering, then you'll be raiding, questing, or farming for all the new goodies, like this snail mount. I'll get it later. Thank you for watching my first ever WorthorNah review. Let me know down below if you enjoyed this style of video. I'm always open to all feedback, but expect to see a whole lot more in the future. Till next time, take care.